Most people think that if you stay quiet during an argument, it means you're weak, passive, or afraid to speak up. But psychology tells a very different story. In fact, people who stay calm and quiet in heated situations often possess a set of powerful psychological traits that many others don't have. While others react emotionally, they observe, analyze, and choose their words carefully. Staying quiet in arguments isn't always about avoiding conflict. Sometimes it's a sign of deep emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, and inner control. If you often find yourself listening more than talking during arguments, there's a good chance you have these 5 strategic traits. Number 1. You have strong emotional self-control. When arguments happen, emotions rise quickly. Anger, frustration, and defensiveness can take over the conversation. Many people react instantly, saying things they later regret. But if you stay quiet, it often means you have the ability to pause before reacting. Psychology shows that people with high emotional regulation tend to respond more thoughtfully during conflict. Instead of letting emotions drive their actions, they allow themselves time to process what's happening. For example, imagine someone criticizing you harshly during a disagreement. Many people would immediately interrupt, raise their voice, or defend themselves aggressively. But someone with strong emotional control might simply listen, breathe, and stay calm. That silence isn't weakness, it's discipline. You're choosing not to let the situation control your emotions. Number 2, you're a deep observer of human behavior. When you stay quiet during arguments, you're often doing something most people forget to do. You're watching, you're noticing tone of voice, body language, emotional triggers, and the real motivations behind someone's words. Research in psychology indicates that people who listen more than they speak often develop stronger social awareness. They pick up subtle details others miss. For instance, while 2 people are arguing loudly, you might notice that one person isn't really angry about the topic itself. They're reacting because they feel unheard or disrespected. This kind of awareness allows you to understand the real dynamics of the conflict. Silence gives you space to observe the bigger picture, and that perspective is incredibly powerful. Number 3, you think strategically instead of reacting impulsively. Arguments are often emotional battles where people try to win in the moment. But people who stay quiet are often thinking several steps ahead. Instead of focusing on the next sentence they want to say, they're thinking about the outcome of the conversation. Psychology research on conflict resolution shows that thoughtful responders tend to resolve disagreements more effectively than reactive communicators. For example, imagine someone accusing you unfairly. Instead of immediately defending yourself, you stay quiet for a moment and let them finish speaking. That pause gives you time to respond in a way that actually changes the direction of the conversation. Sometimes the most strategic move in an argument isn't speaking louder, it's choosing the right moment to speak at all. Number 4, you value understanding over proving a point. Many arguments happen because both sides are focused on one thing, being right. But when you stay quiet and listen, you're often prioritizing something more meaningful, understanding. Psychology suggests that active listening is one of the most important skills for healthy communication. People who genuinely try to understand others often build stronger relationships and reduce unnecessary conflict. When you stay quiet, you allow the other person to fully express themselves. And something interesting happens. People often calm down when they feel heard. For example, in many arguments, the tension drops significantly once one person simply listens without interrupting. Your silence can create space for the conversation to shift from confrontation to clarity. Number 5, you're comfortable with inner confidence. One of the biggest misconceptions about quiet people is that they lack confidence, but research on personality shows that silence can actually be a sign of strong inner security. You don't feel the need to constantly defend yourself, prove your intelligence, or dominate the conversation. You know your worth without needing to broadcast it. Think about it. In many arguments, the loudest person in the room isn't always the most confident. Sometimes they're just the most reactive. Quiet confidence works differently. It allows you to remain steady while others become emotional, and that calm presence often carries more influence than shouting ever could. People eventually notice the person who stays composed when everyone else loses control. If you're someone who stays quiet during arguments, it doesn't mean